Auburn drops a heartbreaker to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's talk about it on this edition of the Uptempo Podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What's up, Auburn family? I'm your host, Dustin Smith, joined as always by my guy, Blake Land. We are in here on this. It's a rainy Sunday morning here in Pensacola, so I'm sure it's a dreary one up there with you as well, Blake and Mobile. And it's not just raining outside, but it's raining inside my heart, Blake. And I'm sure it is yours as well, man. The Auburn Tigers dropped. Whoa, me and you were talking before we started recording. I put this one up there with the Florida State National Championship one, as far as just level of hurt, just the pain, the opportunity that you had. I don't even know where to start, man, but how you feeling?
I'm not feeling good, man. I'm not feeling good. This one hurt. This one hurt bad. Fourth and goal from the 31, man. Fourth and goal from the 31. I'm lost. I have no words. I'm devastated. Like, we get beat 31-10 by New Mexico State. We're down and out, and we get a performance like this, and we're 3 minutes away from beating the number 8 team in the country, the greatest dynasty in college football, and Auburn finds a way to screw it up. I'm gutted for the fan base who showed out. Jordan-Hare Stadium was absolutely rocking. I'm gutted for the seniors because you had Alabama on the freaking ropes. You had them. You had them. I'm gutted that Alabama still has something to play for. That's my biggest thing, is you had the opportunity to end their season yesterday, and you outplayed them for 57 minutes in that game, and you let them off the hook. You let them off the hook, and you let them continue their season into next week against the Georgia Bulldogs in Atlanta. And now, if they win next week, they're in the college football playoff. And it's pain. It's pain that we can't field a punt to win a football game. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it. My brother called it while we were watching the game. He said, "Hey, we're about to muff this punt." Yeah. My brother said, "We're about to muff this punt." And we'll talk about everything on this episode, but I'm gutted. My dad is gutted. My brother is gutted. Because last night I had to walk around the house and listen to my wife make little Roll Tide jokes. And I didn't even want to watch any football after that. Because I brought the passion in our preview episode. I told you why I hated Alabama. I told you that Harvey Updike is trash. Like, I told you that Alabama fans, they celebrate him. That's how they act, man. That's how they are. And we blew it. We found a way to lose the game. We didn't even know who was returning the punt.
Yeah, definitely going to get into that.
Yeah, I don't. It's just, my uncle told me this last night. He called right after the game, and huge Alabama fan. He said, he calls me Boudreaux. All right, now he's called me Boudreaux since I was coming out the womb, man. That's been my nickname with him. He said, "Boudreaux, one thing." He said, "Alabama knows how to win, and Auburn knows how to swag surf." He said, "That's the difference in the programs right now."
Yeah. Say it again.
Alabama knows how to win, and Auburn knows how to swag surf. All right? That's the difference in the program. And he told me, he said, "I'm not saying that it's going to, be like that under Hugh Freeze." He said, "But right now, and the previous two coaches that you had, that is the culture that was created at Auburn. Was a losing mindset. They will find a way to lose the game. when it comes to inferior opponents like Georgia and Alabama. All right. And hey, let's go back to the Georgia game, Dustin. Did we not have an opportunity to win that game? Cam Riley on the sideline let an interception fall right through his hands. Had a chance to win that game. Cam Riley makes that play. Auburn more than likely wins that football game. If we field a punt last night, we more than likely win that football game. I know Hugh Freeze with the visitors list and the commits that have been picking the Auburn Tigers. I know things are changing. I do. But man, you in game, you had them dead in the water, and we choked. We choked. We didn't have anybody that wanted to step up and make a play. I mean, I know we'll get into this, but man, put Jalen Simpson back there to field the punt if you don't know who is in the game to field it. All right. Corey Moore has barely seen the field this year. Jalen, sure-handed guy. If he can't make the play, he's going to back off, tell everybody to get away from the football. I know we'll talk about it, Dustin. I'm just pissed off right now.
Yeah.
I'm still mad. I haven't even watched the post-game presser. I get home last night an hour and a half after the game, and I get on Twitter and see that Hugh didn't even know who was fielding the punt.
Yeah.
I'm just at a loss, man. I'm at a loss for words. I'm scrambling. I don't know. This hurt, man. It hurt. And you bringing up the 2013 national championship game. Look, dog, we gave up a 4th and 31 to our biggest rival to knock them out of national championship contention, and you blew it. That is pain.
And I guarantee you that you'll be hard pressed to go through Auburn history and find the stadium louder than it was at that moment.
Yep.
I mean, think about it. It's for one, I heard it, right? But it's 4th and goal from the 30 versus Alabama. All you got to do is prevent the touchdown here, and you win the game. Boy, I mean that's silver platter for Jordan-Hare Stadium. A hungry Auburn fan base, that's silver platter, and you give it up. I'll tell you one thing: Auburn Jesus has abandoned us. Auburn Jesus has abandoned us. And I don't know if he's coming back. I think maybe he said, "Okay, these are your blessings," and but I'm done with him. But I don't want to hear y'all calling on him no more because I'm done calling on him anyway. Y'all can do what you want. But look, on a serious note, Blake. Look, I want to say this. This is the game. This is the Iron Bowl recap because you had brought up the visitors list and all that. And I promise you, this next couple of weeks, we're about to crank out some recruiting pods because there's going to be plenty to talk about. I think we won in some battles versus Alabama last night. We won some battles. Didn't win the important one. Didn't win the win that we're here to talk about. Well, I don't even want to say important because there's some important stuff happening. But this is a game recap. So this doesn't need to be taken as an indictment on the future or anything, right? This is just looking at this game and what you have this game. And yeah, so I talked about this in the summer where Auburn has not won the big games in a long time. And me and you in the summer, we kind of agreed the last big win was the 2019 Iron Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you made the plays. Think about the plays you had to make, right? Sal Cannella. I mean, it's a painting now. The catch that he made. The pick six, Jacoby McClain taking 102, 103 yards, whatever it was. You made the crucial plays in that moment. Gus with the little pooch punt at the end of the game, little fake pooch punt that threw Saban off. They had 12 men on the field. That 2019 Iron Bowl, that's the last one where a big time game, a big time opponent where you made the plays, and that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. So now Bo Nix is about to win a Heisman as a 5th-year senior out at Oregon. And that just shows you right there how much Auburn has botched these last couple of years. And this is this one just you have to own it if you're this coaching staff that this was, and these players, But the fact, yeah, let's just get into it about the punt. Okay, so because it obviously Coy Moore and Keontae both wear 0, and Hugh, he initially in the presser, he answers a question about it, and he's talking as if he says, "Hey, Keontae made a mistake. He's a team leader, all this kind of stuff." And then our guy Mike G asked, "Well, why was Coy Moore back there?" And didn't ask it in a combative way, just the way the questions developed. And then Hugh said, "Oh, wait a second, Coy was back there? Oh, it should have been Keontae. That's a question for Tanner," which I guess is Tanner Burns, who will be in charge of the special team situation there. That's inexcusable. That cannot be the case in a game of this magnitude. You had Alabama, you had them dead to rights in your home stadium, and we just watched Keontae. I mean, we've seen what Keontae's been all year. And then my question is this too, Blake: who are the senior leaders that are out there on that team, out there on that specific play? Coy Moore himself, that doesn't call Tom out and say, "Hey, something's up. Because anything outside of Keontae Scott there is unacceptable. Or like you said, Jalen. But to be truthful with you, the way that Auburn's performed in these big games, and we've had some struggles this year, fielding punts at times, I don't think there should have been anybody back there.
Yep.
Because if they get the ball at the 1, I don't give a damn. Tush push, get up to the 3, and keep it going. But like you said, at the least, let it be Jalen Simpson, a sure-handed guy. Look, I know no one hurts more than Coy Moore. I know that Coy Moore is one of the guys that shows up to practice every single day on time and all that kind of stuff, and he does everything right. So, I'm not attacking the kid personally. He just shouldn't have been out there. And right. And that's the thing too, man. I know that all these guys, like, I'll be honest with you, dude. The video of Jalen pounding the ground at the end of the game, that's tough for me to watch, man, because I love that guy. I do. And I know that the effort that he's put in, and I know the effort that all those guys have put in, but how is the head coach of Auburn not aware that you don't have the right guy back there for the punt return? It's such a colossal mistake. I struggle to understand it. And then you go to, I can point out 3 games to you, Blake: Georgia, Ole Miss, and Alabama, where Auburn's had to burn a timeout and/or got a penalty for trying to rotate quarterbacks. I thought we were past the rotation of the quarterbacks, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're moving the ball. You bring in Robbie, you're in a speed sweep, and you get to 2nd and 17.
Yep.
And then that's not even the one that there was the one, before in the game when you try to make them and you're not able to get the playoff. And it's something that we've seen. And I'm wondering why that continued. So, and I know that you're real passionate about that last play there. I'm trying to get everything out the way. I think I got everything out the way here leading up to the 4th and goal. Let's say this, Blake, before we get into that final play, what kept us in the game was our ability to run the football, which me and you did not think we were going to be able to do. Yep. But when we take a look at the stats, let's see. Jarquez, 14 carries for 93 yards, 6.6 a carry. Damari looked good. Damari with 10 carries, 85 yards, 8.5 a carry, and a touchdown. PT had 15 carries for 57 yards, 3.8 yards a carry, and sacks are taken into consideration there, that kind of thing. But I thought, Blake, that he ran the ball hard, and I thought that he ran the ball tough. I thought PT played a very tough, wasn't the most clean game, but I thought he played his ass off. And VAR had the carry for a touchdown for 12 yards, and then Robbie has 2 carries for -3 yards with after negative 1.5 a carry. But you ran the ball, and then go into the team stats overall. Alabama with 451 total yards. We had 337. They had 192 rushing yards, and we had 244. Like, if you would have told me that before the game, damn, Blake. The passing yards, 259 to 93. Obviously, we kind of know what that is there. But I mean, what did you think about? Because I know we're going to get into that final play, but what did you think about the offensive game plan? The coming into the game and the ability to run the ball a little bit, which me and you looked at before the game and said Alabama was at 3.6 yards a carry, and for us to be able to come in and do that, just your thoughts on kind of what Hugh Freeze drew up this week.
Man, I'm still thinking about the punt.
I know.
Look, he attacked. He went right at the teeth of the Alabama defense. All right, and he said, "You're going to stop. You're going to stop the run. All right, we're going to run the ball. We're going to run it right at you, and we're going to chew clock, and we're going to keep the Alabama offense off the field." I think that PT. I think he ran it really well. That some of the reads that he made were, they were on point, Dustin. And that's what I mean when I tweeted last night. I was like, "Hey, man, you battled. You battled." Did he play a clean game? Did he miss some reads? Yeah, he missed some reads. All right, there were some times where he should have handed it when he kept it, and there were some times he should have kept it when he handed it. But what Hugh drew up, man, is we're going to chew this clock, and if we are successful on first down, we're going to run a little tempo. And it worked. Like, I feel like if Jarquez wouldn't have got hurt, if he wouldn't have got a little beat up, I feel like he has more than 14 carries and he gets well over 100 yards.
Could have kept feeding to Maury, though. I felt like we got away from the run myself.
Yep. Where we went away from the run is at the beginning of the fourth quarter on that drive in the red zone. We went away from the run. And I put it in our game day group chat. Yep. We went away from the run inside the 10-yard line, and we started trying to throw the ball. Right? In my opinion, that is where you started to see the downfall of this game. Everything Hugh Freeze and this coaching staff did, their game plan in this football game was perfection. All right? Play smash mouth football. Big props to our offensive line. Offensive line showed up this week. Got bullied last week against New Mexico State. Showed up this week. All right, against
did his thing.
Gunnar Britton played his ass off. All right. You got bullied last week. You responded. All right. Big props to you. Love it. All right. That's how you bounce back. But what killed me was that drive at the beginning of the fourth, late in the third, beginning of the fourth. We're inside the 10, and we go away from running the football. We try to throw it. We end up kicking a field goal to make it 24-20. If you score right there, you win this football game. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You win the football game. You go up 28-20. You win. You win. They're down 8. Milroe's struggling. Like, he wasn't his best. I'm telling you, Jordan-Hare Stadium played a big role in that. We were running it down their throat, man, and we went away from it. And the rotation of the quarterbacks, like you said, I thought we were done with that. You bring Robbie in and you lose 7 yards and you burn timeouts because your offensive line is having to listen to a different cadence. Payton is lost when he comes back into the game. It's just a cluster, man, and I don't know why we continue to do it. I really don't.
It's three of our most important games, Blake.
Yep.
If you would have circled Bama, Georgia, and Ole Miss before the season, it killed us in those 3 games at certain points.
And look, you can trash Payton Thorne for going 5 of 16 for 91 yards. But like I said, he battled. Mm-hmm. He battled. He made throws when he had to. Look, I think another key throw was to Fairweather right before the half. You have got to catch that football, brother. I know it wasn't the best throw. I know he didn't hit him in the chest or in stride or anything like that, but he threw it at him and it went right through his hands. You have got to catch that. You were a veteran. You were a transfer, a veteran, an upperclassman. You have got to catch that football. if you catch that football, we kick a field goal. All right, that puts us around midfield. We're down 3. There's plenty of time left. You can still kick a field goal because McPherson is absolute money.
Yeah, God didn't miss one all season.
Hadn't missed a field goal all season. McPherson is absolute money, dog. And if you get that thing to the 40, I feel comfortable with him from 60. All right, maybe 65. I mean, dude, I know that sounds crazy, but dude can punch it, brother.
But I hate some of our play calls when we're right there on the borderline of his range, because it feels like that we do some goofy stuff when it's like, man, you've almost got 3 in your back pocket right here at the 40, like you're saying, and then that seems to be when we do some kind of the sweep, and all of a sudden now you're 6 yards back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I just feel like when you're right there, when you have a weapon like that, like you're saying here, I mean, me and you, we say it all the time. You got them points right there. Don't be scared to use them.
Yeah, 65 might be a little aggressive, but 60. I mean, 57.
65,
yeah, 55. Like, I mean, I just feel like if you get the ball to the 40, like that's a 57-yarder, bro. Like, I feel like McPherson could hit that as a freshman. Like, he did it in high school. Bro was kicking 60-yarders in high school. I mean,
he's a dog.
Yeah, so I felt like that was a big momentum changer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, this is one of the hardest episodes I've ever had to do. I'll be honest with you.
Normally we have a structure and we go through the game and how it played out. On this one, it's just but that's because we're fans, man. That's because we care. Before we started recording, you talked about how you just kind of sat there last night and didn't want to watch any other games, and I know everybody listens the same way. You wake up this morning and you physically feel it. And that's because you love and you care. And it's, look, we're going to get a bowl invitation here soon. We're going to get some big time recruits here soon. There's going to be some big flips and all kind of stuff. And me and Blake are going to be on here. We're going to be hype as hell. And we're going to be telling you about why the future is bright. But right now, on recapping this particular game, boy, this is the toughest one that I've ever had to do with you, brother. Going to the final play, Blake. You've made no bones about the way you feel about it out on social media. You were
it's Big 12.
Just talk about the final play and the decision to only bring 2.
That's what the Big 12 does. Man, uncalled for, brother. Uncalled for. I just want an explanation. I haven't watched the post-game presser. What did Hugh say? Well, I don't know, because I just want an explanation, man. And
he said that if you bring the house there and you get beat, then everyone's questioning you why.
You don't bring the house. You just rush 4. Rush 4. You don't have to bring the house. You drop 7. Man, look, I was talking about this before we excuse me. I was talking about this before we started recording. Minkah Fitzpatrick the other day in the NFL for the Steelers. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly when. He calls a timeout. All right. They're rushing 3. They're rushing 3 people. They're from the 17, whoever they were playing was like on the 17-yard line, last play of the game. He calls a timeout and he runs up to the DC and he says, hey, let's just put 7 guys across the goal line. We rush 4, try to close the pocket in. He's got to get the ball out quick. They did that. It worked. All right. We didn't even try. We didn't even try to put any pressure, close the pocket in on Milrow. We didn't even try. We had Eugene on 4th and goal from the 31-yard line as a QB spy. A QB spy for what? What do you need a QB spy for in that situation? Please tell me. Please tell me. I'm all ears to listen. What do you need a QB spy for in that situation? I'm here, baby. I'm here to listen. I'm free. I'm here all day. I'll DM you my cell phone number. And I'm free to listen because that shit yesterday was what they do in the Big 12. That was straight from Baylor. Okay? And that's the reason they give up 600 yards of offense out there. That is the reason they can't tackle out there. All right, they play flag football out there, is because they rush 3, drop 8, and prevents you from winning. All right. The hardest thing to do, man, in football, the hardest thing to do is to cover somebody for 7 seconds. All right. When you're asking a DB who's one-on-one, somehow one-on-one, guess what? Zion Puckett. All right. I hate it, but Puckett got beat a lot yesterday.
To watch the miscommunication between him and DJ, it's like I don't even have to know the play and know whose assignment is what. What I know is both of those guys are vets. Yep. Both of those guys got plenty of reps under their belts. So whoever the hell's fault it is, it really doesn't matter. You're making that mistake right there after we had just came down and scored and just grabbed momentum. And then 2 guys that, man, on the fireside chat with the War Report guys, they talked about how Zion, he knows, he's the guy back there. He knows where everybody's supposed to be. That's what the DBs that sat down with the guy said, that Zion was the guy that knew everybody was supposed to line up and all that. Okay. And then I know the caliber of player that DJ is, right, at his best. So mistake was made. I mean, like, it's 2 vets is what I'm saying. It's 2 guys who know better. And it's just the culture, Blake. We don't know how to win games.
That's like I told one of my buddies.
These games.
He texted me last night and he said, "What was Ford doing?" And I said, "Buddy, what's crazy is he's our best cover corner. He's our best guy, and he's probably been beat. I can count on one hand how many times he's gotten beat all year. Like in 2 years, probably. The last 2 years he's been at Auburn. He has been locked down. Look, I know everybody's saying like you tackle the guy and everything. I think DJ thought he had a little help from Zion, and Zion obviously looking at the end zone picture from a couple people's cell phone. They ran a crosser right in front of Zion's face, and DK went with that guy, and Zion creeped with him. And I think when Milrose saw that, he saw that he had one-on-one with DJ in the corner and Isaiah Bond. I feel like that's where he was throwing the football. And Saban come out and said they work on that play every Friday and walk through. They work on that play. And I think that got Zion when they sent that crosser across his face at the goal line. DK went with him. Zion saw it. Zion went. You see him. He takes 3 or 4 steps to his left. That leaves one-on-one with DJ in the corner. We still rushed 2 people, and we had a QB spy on 4th and 31. This Big 12 stuff. Now, look, I've been high on Ron all year. I know I was in the heat of the moment when I said fireable offense. And he's a great defensive coordinator. But you don't even have to send the house, man. You don't even have to do what you did against New Mexico State, where you did send the house and you got beat up the seam by the tight end.
Medium.
Yeah, you don't have to send the house there. You just rush 4, man. Why go away? Why go away from doing what got you there? Why go away from it? Put 7 guys on the goal line, rush 4. All right. Look, this is a quarterback that just panicked. He had just panicked. Their center had just panicked. All right. Their center just snapped the ball back there for you to get in that situation. And then he throws an illegal forward pass because he was under a little bit of pressure. He panicked. He ran past the line of scrimmage and threw it away. Like, look, Jalen Milroe does not handle pressure very well. He doesn't. When you get a hand in his face, he tends to panic a little bit. It happened last night. He wasn't his best. But you let him sit back there for 7 seconds on the last play. And he could have sat back there for 30 seconds. Look at how clean the pocket was. We couldn't do anything, and Eugene's dancing around 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, just QB spine. Look, if Jalen Milroe takes off there, there's no way he's getting 30 yards without breaking a couple tackles. All right, he's going to have to meet a defensive back somewhere at the 10, the 5, something. All right. Everybody's like, oh, well, we were QB spying because if Jalen Milroe takes off, brother, he's not making it 30 yards untouched. Now, if he would have broke some tackles and fallen into the end zone, then I would have been like, damn, like we can't tackle.
Yeah, that's just on the players.
That's just, yeah. But you rushed 2 people, dog, and you let him sit back there. And the biggest thing with me is, Dustin, is he scanned the entire field. And he saw Isaiah Bond with space, and he said, oh, wow, there's my guy. And threw an absolute dart. Can't take nothing away from 4. Dog, we were so down on the kid at the beginning of the year, and I know I'm saying something positive about Alabama football right here, but I want to give that man his freaking props, all right? I hate Alabama with a passion, but number 4, man, do everything he went through at the beginning of the year against Texas and that fan base, the way they freaking drug him, and now he's got you 1 game away from the college football playoffs. Sign an apology for him and give it to him personally. Because look, he might not be the greatest thrower of the football, but that dude has got freaking heart, man. He's a team leader. And that's what his reaction on the sideline last night, I woke up and saw it on Instagram. All right, people are on there because he said, give me the mother Heisman. All right. I don't agree with that, but, man, I love the intensity. You let a guy sit back there for 7 seconds, dude, in a clean pocket and pick you apart. I'll never understand it. I'm not okay with just bringing 2 people and having a quarterback spy. Especially with Eugene and his ability to get to the quarterback, Dustin. Like, that is my biggest thing. Even if you rush 3 there, send Eugene, man. Like you got to try to force Milroe off his spot, man. You can't let him sit back there, jersey clean, and deliver a ball like that. It can't happen. You rush 4 people there. You try to get him off his spot. Get him moving. Get him on the run, man. Like, him having to throw, if you rush him out of the pocket, all right, just say you rush him to his left, all right, say he goes left, he's having to throw 31 yards across his body to the end zone, all right, I'm fine with that. Like, if he would have dropped it in a bucket and we would have lost, hey, I can live with that, dog. I can live with that. But what I can't live with is him standing back there, no hand in his face, absolutely clean pocket. He could have sat back there and played a game of chess or checkers. All right. He could have bent down and tied both of his shoes up because poor Jalen McLeod, there was nothing he could do.
Right.
There was nothing he could do. He wasn't getting away from that. I'll never understand it, Dustin. And people ask me, they're like, well, what were we supposed to do? That's on the DB. It's not. Man, the hardest thing to do in football is to cover somebody for 7 seconds when they know where they're going and you don't. I'm sorry. It's the hardest thing in football, man. And it's Big 12. It's Big 12 to rush 2 people, and you can't tell me any different. It's heartbreaking. We had their ass on the ropes. We should have won this football game. We should have ended their season yesterday, and we couldn't get it done. I know he called a great game as a DC. I know he held them to 20 points at that point, and I know we wouldn't even be in that situation if it wasn't for the muff punt. But damn it, we were in that situation. Period. All right? It come down to one final play in this football game, and it was 4th and goal from the 31. I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it, how you cut it up. It come down to one play, and you couldn't get it done. Like you said, Like I said earlier, loser mentality. You have a losing culture, and I know it's changing. I know it's changing. I saw the videos on social media last night from recruits there. They're excited. I know what they said after the game. They're excited. They know Hugh's building something. But it hurts for those seniors. And like you said, man, when I see Jalen Simpson this morning on Instagram and his story of him walking out on Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he says in bold letters, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
He had nothing to apologize for.
No, man. Jalen Simpson, brother, if you ever come across this podcast, man, you're the GOAT, dog. You're the GOAT, man. You did it all for Auburn University. You stuck around when shit was south. You stuck around through 3 head coaches. You stuck around and gave Auburn everything you freaking had, dude. You played through injury last night, taped up. It wasn't coming out of the Iron Bowl. He wasn't doing it, man. We owe you everything, dude. You have nothing to apologize about. You are Auburn. And you've always been there, man. You've been there in the community. You've been there anytime Auburn does anything social media wise to promote Auburn or anything like that. 36 has always been there, and can't thank him enough. Can't thank the seniors enough, man. Like, I know I'm tough on Zion, but you know, he's the same way, man. He's been through the mud. He's been through the struggles at Auburn. Nehemiah, the same way, bro. Hey, way to come up and lay a lick on Milroe. That's what I like to see, man. You met that dude on the sideline. I know you took a blow, but you delivered a blow, and that's Auburn football, Dustin. Right. That's Auburn football. You got a yard, dude. All right, you got a yard. What are you gonna do? All right, are you gonna deliver a blow? Or are you gonna let Jalen Milroe run you over? And Nehemiah, yeah, he took a lick, but he delivered something. That's Auburn football, dog. That's the way it's supposed to be. That ain't rushing 2 people at the end of the game. There's no logic. There's no logic for you to sit here and tell me that that's okay. None. Period. I'm done with it. This one freaking hurts, Dustin. It's painful. We had a quarterback that has gotten just dogged all year from everybody. All right. I'm not calling anybody. I'm just saying from everybody, from as a fan base. He stepped up last night. And then I still got people sitting here saying, "Oh, bro, we went 5 of 16 for 90 yards. Like, bro, the man made plays to win a football game against one of the best defenses in the country. The man made plays. Did it show up on the stat sheet? No. But he made plays with his legs. He hit receivers. He got the ball to VAR. Do you remember he overthrew the ball at Texas A&M? Last night he made the throw. All right. He made the throw. He threw a ball before half, like we talked about, to Rivaldo. You got to catch that. He made plays, man. We ran the ball down Alabama's freaking throat again this year. Last year we ran for 300. This year we ran for 244. We bullied them for 57 minutes. We bullied them, and we let them off the freaking hook. It's painful. It hurts, Dustin. And you said it, the 2013 national championship, dog. Like, I'm with you. This freaking hurts, man. It hurts. It's painful. Like, we could have ended their season. And as an Auburn diehard, somebody who just loves. I mean, man, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm talking from the heart right here. There's things that I don't do with my family because of Auburn football. That's real talk. All right. There's things when it comes to Auburn football, and you ask me to go somewhere at 2:30 on a Saturday.
Right.
You ask me to go to a pumpkin patch. All right. I'm being for real. I'm being dead serious. Dog. Like you ask me to go to a pumpkin patch. I don't care if we're playing Western Kentucky. The answer is no. All right. Because it's Auburn football. And that's how dedicated I am, man. I love this stuff. I love it. And I come in here and having to talk about this on today's episode, man. I don't know how we did it, Dustin. I don't know how we did it because I'm still hurting. Like, I'm telling you, I'm still hurting, man. My wife put me on TikTok last night. She was recording my reactions throughout the game, and you know, I lost my voice, like hollering with my dad and my brother, and I was heartbroken, man. Like, you know how heartbroken you are. I know I'm rambling on here, man, but like, you know how heartbroken you are when you ride in the car and there's no radio on, and you're just riding.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's no radio, there's no nothing, no
Contemplating.
sound.
Yeah.
You're just riding. And that was my ride home from my parents' house last night, is just silence. And then when I got home, man, like, no game or nothing. Like, usually I'm pumped up. I'm like, man, Florida State's on. Like, I'm about to turn that on and watch it, you know? Nothing. I went straight, took a shower, brushed my teeth, got in bed, and my wife was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm laying down. I can't take it. I can't. And this one hurt, Dustin.
Yeah, it did. I a lot of the same thing. Ride back to the house in silence from Pop's house. Didn't want to turn on a game because I didn't want to see that highlight at all. I didn't want to see that play one time. I did see Kirk Herbstreit's reaction to it, and I am so I'm happy for him. I'm glad that his Alabama Crimson Tide were able to pull that out for him. You know. I'll save that one for another day. That's just a clown show, man. That's just a clown show. But that's why this whole podcast situation is awesome, because it's allowed people like Zach Blackerby. It's allowed people like our guys at the War Report and all across every fan base. And now we're doing our thing here as well, obviously, to where we can come and bring you the real, the real deal, the real perspective. And obviously, if you're watching this episode today, then I don't think you doubt either one of our passion. It's not it's not an indictment, like I said in the beginning. I know, because I know how this goes. There's gonna be people in the comments that say, "Guys, calm down. It's just one game." Yeah, me and Blake both predicted us to lose this game by double digits.
Yeah,
Blake had it at 38-17.
Yeah.
So we're not caught off guard or anything like that. It's the simple fact that you're a passionate fan. You had your arch rival dead to rights, and you let them go. I bet the next time that they roll back into Jordan-Hare Stadium that we got a whole lot more to compete with than 2 and 3 stars. And I think it's going to be a little bit different, because the last 2 times Bama's rolled through, they faced what? 2 6-5 Auburn teams.
Yep.
And they've escaped barely by the skin of their teeth. Well, they won't be facing a 6-5 Auburn team the next time they come into our stadium. And they won't be facing a roster like what they face. Because, man, we got to the point, Blake, where, like, think about this. Keldrick Falk gets hurt, right? Falk gets hurt. A true freshman gets hurt on the defensive line in the Iron Bowl. He goes out for what, 1 play? And it's, Bubba, you got to get your ass back in there. That's where we're at right now. We can't afford to miss 1 true freshman on the defensive line for more than 1 snap. You look at this Georgia game this year, and you say, boy, we had that one. Not as much as this one, obviously.
Yep.
But you look at it and you say, you sure had your opportunities. You look at that Alabama game this year and you say, boy, we literally gave it to you. We gave it to you. Now, credit to Bama for making the play, and credit to Bama for knowing how to win. And we just don't know how to win right now. And it's like a guy that's 0 for 8 from the free throw line. He just got to make one. And that's kind of where we're at in these big games right now. It's just, you just feel like the mistake's coming, and then it comes. Or when that opportunity to make that big play is there, you just don't make it. And obviously we're not going to have a game of this magnitude again until next season. So this opportunity won't present itself until next season. But I know that Hugh Freeze woke up this morning and started recruiting.
Yep. 2 phones, baby.
Yeah. I know for absolute fact that Hugh Freeze is recruiting right now. And you think back to this current game, And look, VAR's balled, especially the second half of the season. So this is no shot at VAR. But the one in the end zone there that he wasn't able to come up with, he's a slot guy. That's not necessarily that's not the best position you want VAR to be in, trying to make that catch. But Perry Thompson makes that catch, and me and Blake have seen him make that catch in person several times. He can do it. I've seen Cam Coleman make that catch in person several times. So let's see how that one goes out. Pike Road coming to Mobile this weekend to play Saraland. I'm going to be there. We'll help on the defensive line, Malik Blockton. Let's see what this Ryan Williams looks like. Let's see if we can pull that. I'm just telling you, man, like, who knows what is needed to be able to pull us again. Look at the way that Alabama has recruited in the trenches. Let's just look specifically at the defensive line for a second. The way they've recruited the defensive line and the way that we've recruited offensive line over the past, let's just say, 4 years. You can do that research if you want to. I'll just sum it up for you and tell you it's night and day difference.
Yep.
And we ran for 5.7 yards a carry yesterday. And a lot of that is what our the GOAT Pat Dye used to say. We just ain't scared to play you.
Yep.
Auburn's just not scared to play Alabama. Auburn's not scared to play Georgia. Look at the Iron Bowl last year. Look at the Georgia game last year. Look at them this year. Yes, I understand home and road. But I think that you can look at it and say a gap was closed. So now we're in a very important time. We're about to find out, because there's some guys, Blake, that I think quit. And luckily for us, some of the guys that I think that I'm positive in saying just quit, some of those outside receivers, they're out of eligibility, right? So whatever. But so now here we go, right? Recruiting, portal, who wants to be here, all that kind of deal. Let's see what bowl game we go to. Yeah. This one's gonna hurt forever. It is. But like you said, you alluded to some of the posts on social media last night by some of the recruits. There's I think some special things happened last night in terms of that. I think some special things are going to happen. I think we come on, Blake. I'm gonna say top 8. I think we're gonna finish maybe 9th, but I think we're gonna come home with like a top 8 class, and then that it's full steam ahead with the 2025 class. I think that 2025 class really has potential to be special. So the bowl game's important to me though, because I don't want to have 3 losing seasons in a row.
I don't want to be Florida, man. No bowl, Billy.
No, let's win this bowl game. Let's see where we go. But yeah, if you are one of the fans that was at the game, just like props to you, man. I'll finish with this, Blake. So as everybody knows, I'm a Bucs fan, and I'm about to. As hurt as the football is, fan inside me is today. I got my Bucs shirt on right here, and I'm about to head up to the sports bar and probably watch the Bucs blow a game they need to win. But you know, I don't know what else to do. So when it comes time for that bowl game, you know, I'm gonna sit down in my Auburn gear. If it's Birmingham Bowl, might try to make it and fully support. And I just think that the brighter days are ahead, man. And I know that off the pain of this one sucks. This one hurts. But Pat Dye went 5-6 his first year, like I said, and this is earlier in the week, and this is a whole different era and all that kind of stuff. But man, I don't know how you can't look at last year and look at this year, the program as a whole. Look, I got questions about the rotating the quarterback. How the hell do you not know who's going on with your punt return? There's some stuff, you know, there definitely needs to be some personnel changes. How much when I saw the blown coverage, I wondered to myself, how much of that is a Wesley McGriff not being their situation? So, you know, there's some things that happened this year, and I just know this: the guy that's running this team and head coach Hugh Freeze, whether this works out, to be determined, but I know he's competitive as hell, and I know that these next 3-4 weeks here, I don't know if there's another head coach coaching a football team out there that's going to work harder than the one that we got. Yeah. And I know that what happened last night bothers him more than it bothers anybody else.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he didn't. And Hugh Freeze's bed is a pointless mechanism, because he ain't about to be in his bed for the next month, if I had to guess. That man's going to put in the work. So, and I think that he put on a show last night and in the Georgia game to show that, hey, man, I just need the guys. Because he doesn't even have the guys on the outside, Blake, to fully run his offense. He really doesn't. And it's no shade at Malcolm Johnson Jr., but when you put Malcolm Johnson Jr. on the outside inside the red zone, you're just searching. You're just looking for something. Yep. So I know that I know it sucks, and like you said, man, we had him for 57 minutes, but
tough pill to swallow.
It's just a tough one, but we get that bowl game, dude. We come in there, we'll have plenty of recruiting momentum. Like I said, I think this program is on the up, and I think that I think it's hard to deny that. It just sucks that this was such a big opportunity to where you could have kind of, you could have jumped that up. And look, what we're always going to do here, man, is we're going to speak from the heart, bro. And when Auburn drops a heartbreaker like that, that's but I think everybody feels the same way that we feel, Blake. But I think that everybody, look, when in 2021, whenever we lost that game in 3 overtimes to Alabama, we had legitimately, we were up in the air as because recruiting was struggling and we weren't sure where we were going to go, right? Like we didn't know whether after that game, I didn't know it was going to fall apart the way it did. So I'm not saying that I was like, all right, and he won't even make it through next year. I didn't feel that way talking about Harsin, but I don't feel the way I feel right now. Now this one hurts a lot more because you just gave it away in a glorious fashion. But as far as where this program was going, I hope them Bama fans and I saw the way that what's his name, Jermaine Burton acted, real class act, that guy. I saw the way that a lot of them acted and doing all that. You better enjoy it. You better enjoy it because that clock it's about to strike midnight on that ass. Yeah. That one right there is going to be your last one of those in our stadium for a little bit. And
how about let's not get blown out next year in Tuscaloosa? Because I feel like since Cam, that's been a trend, right?
I don't think we will.
I don't either. Look, I agree with everything you said, and wrapping this episode up, Dustin. This would be my final thing. Is I know it's tough. I know it hurts. It's painful. Like we've mentioned all episode, man, it's tough to get through. Today is tough. But a lot of preseason predictions had Auburn 5-7, 4-8, last in the SEC West. We went 3-5 in the SEC. Some people said we would go 0-8. Some people said we would go 1-7. We can go back to June and July and pull up those predictions if you would like. Me and Dustin talked about them, and that did not happen. We won 3 SEC games in year one. We had the opportunity to win a lot more. Yeah. But with a lesser roster, we were in games in year one. I know we get on here and we talk about things that went wrong and things that happened, and in the heat of the moment, we send out tweets and we say stupid things sometimes because we're pissed off as fans. But at the end of the year, in year one, we're going to a bowl game. We're 6-6. We have the opportunity to strike in recruiting. And we played two of our biggest rivals, our two biggest rivals, down to the wire, and should have won both football games with a far, far less talented roster. I think we have to look at this in a positive light. I know it sucks going 6-6, but we got to look at it in a positive light at the end of the day, and we gotta buckle our pants, man. We gotta pull them up and get to work. We got to put on the steel toes and get back at it, brother. And we're gonna be okay. Auburn football is gonna be okay. Cadillac, I'm still not off of that, man. Cadillac said we will be just fine, and I truly believe that. we're going to be okay, and we're going to recruit at a high level. And Hugh Freeze, like you said, he's hurting today. He woke up and he's hurting today, but he's got those phones working. All right, he's recruiting, and he's trying to flip guys. He's trying to flip elite athletes. KJ Bolden, I hope you saw the blown coverage yesterday. I hope you saw what happened in the end zone in that last play of the game, and you could be the difference maker. 5-star safety. You could be the difference maker. KJ Bolden, Ryan Williams. Everybody keeps saying that you're an Alabama lock. I'm hearing differently. All right. I'm hearing that it's closer than it's ever been. Be a difference maker, man. Come to Auburn and be a difference maker. That's it. Perry Thompson, he did it. Everybody's sitting there, well, who's going to throw the ball to him? Who knows, man? The way the transfer portal is nowadays, who knows? Is it Payton Thorne? I don't know. Payton Thorne's going to have competition. Auburn's going to get a quarterback out of the portal. There's going to be a QB competition next year. Walker White will not be the starting quarterback. All right? We love Walker White, but he will not be the starting quarterback. So there's positivity in the program, man. I know it hurts, it stings, but we're going to be okay, Dustin. And all I can say is war damn eagle to that. And we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right.
Yeah, like that video if you have not subscribed to that channel. Blake, I'm having surgery Tuesday morning, so you might be doing solo dolo. You might be able to bring somebody in, and I might be stubborn, and I might try to get on here and see if I can help you out. So we'll see how all that goes, man. But yeah, man, War Damn Eagle, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Live show Tuesday night, 7 p.m. We're out. We'll catch y'all then. Let's pack out that bowl game, baby. Y'all stay fired up. Let's go.
War damn, baby.